We're having our annual Birding and Wildlife Festival and our new Arts in the Woods with our wildlife artists. Today we're talking about many subjects that are popular, all about wildlife. Everything from the birds to the reptiles, amphibians, to all sorts of animals that exist here in Florida and all over the United States and in the world. Today we also have a lot of guest speakers, lectures, and exhibits. Learn all about native landscaping for wildlife, the birding. What birdhouse is perfect? If you're going to have birds and animals in your yard, come out and learn how to do the landscaping for wildlife. We also have quite a lot of food vendors that have delicious food to fill your belly while you're learning and doing that. Sort of look, they're like grasslands with just a few trees around, so the trees aren't closed, so that means there's a lot of light that gets through the ground. And because of that, there are a lot of flowering plants and grasses that species like Bachman sparrows really like, other grassland birds. So they live in this habitat where a lot of sunlight gets to the ground because there's plenty of food for them to eat, basically. Towhees, white-eyed vireos are out here in the shrubs. Bachman sparrow is the only breeding sparrow in Florida, except for towhees, which most people don't think about as sparrows. Right. Except for in very South Florida, in the Kissimmee River Basin, we have a subspecies of the grasshopper sparrow that's federally endangered, the Florida grasshopper sparrow. But in most of the state, the only breeding season sparrow we have is Bachman sparrow. So we had Mark and Andy located one here, a Bachman sparrow up here on this hill in the winter, which we can now not find. And another one back that way, I believe, that was also here in winter. So sparrows like Bachman sparrows wander widely in the winter. So wherever they are breeding, it can be miles from, actually many miles, from where they spend the winter. So not a lot is known about winter migration of Bachman sparrows, but there is some evidence for it. If you ever have a chance to review I think it's called Bird Life in Florida, Stevenson and Anderson's encyclopedia, they have records of Bachman sparrows being found along the coast, around Crystal River, and a lot of places where we know they don't breed. So they are undoubtedly migrants, or they're wandering. So but nobody's really done any long distance radio telemetry to really know if those are sparrows that came from out of Florida, several states to the north, a couple states to the north, or if they've just wandered from somewhere else in Florida. So right around that, but what that means is we can find a sparrow in the winter, and then we come back when it's breeding season, it's nesting season, and they're nowhere to be found. But they could be just 3 miles away. We just don't know that. So I set up the nets over here, kind of wrapped around this shrub area, because there are towies in there, white-eyed vireos. There are, I heard, a ruby-crowned kinglet, gnatcatchers, cardinals, all kinds of birds. So we might catch something. You have your speaker too? I was going to try the Falconsberry. You never know.
Down.
We're woodpecker friendly here at Chinsegut.
It's very, very. It is loud.
Yeah, it's for such a little thing.
Where was that from?
I'm sure we had it before.
There's a bob white.
Yeah. That's a pine warbler. Yeah, they're pine warbler. I'm always the optimist. Surely there's one here. So back in
Bite them. It's already banded. I don't know if it's one we did earlier today or one we did last year.
Well, with your spyglasses, we'll find out.
Hang around a bit longer.
a little bit, yeah, I'm gonna look around.
You going somewhere?
I know I had nets up way up the hill there. Didn't catch anything. No?
You just said it had 3 birds. That must be for this one.
The nets must be
But this is one we did a little bit earlier. Oh!
Yeah, they get you, don't they?
Yeah.
They have a nice bite.
This is a fresh one.
Well, the way it's going, it may go off the table.
Oh, hold on to him, Andy.
Don't take the bag with him. And the cardinal will watch him. It's been cardinal day. We usually get catbirds.
Come on. always happy to see any bird that's abundant. There's plenty of cardinals, that's good. Underfeathers, that's good. All birds.
So Clay, can you talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it?
Well, this is just basically a banding demonstration, give people an idea of what's going on. Banding is used in research for like migration studies or population studies, that type of thing. Survivorship. But basically here we're just doing a demonstration, and we're also doing a little bit of presence absence work, just documenting what birds are here on the Nature Center. This is a male cardinal by plumage. It's probably at least 3 years old, certainly greater than a 1 year old and probably greater than 2 years old, just based on the
Well, we don't know because we found them in the midwinter. Well, not midwinter, more like.
we'll make sure we get this just tight enough,
Yeah.
not too tight.
And now they're not here. So they may just be wandering for nomads, right? Yeah.
They go to clean, that's where they're at.
Yeah.
Boy,
Right,
they're
right,
out
right.
there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right. They could have just,
We
come
just-
down. I do sparrow dives in the winter at Leafy Rock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got a little problem here. Marianne,
Yeah.
come here and help me.
What do you need?
This band got stuck in the pliers there.
Oh, the squawking.
So here I've got a in this banding box
Let me
here.
hold the pliers. Can you get it?
No, hold on. I've got
Yeah, let Andy, okay.
this. Probably at least 3 years old. We know it's greater than 1 year old because it has a bright orange beak. And generally, if they're 2 years old, what we call a second-year bird, there'll be a little white, black splotches, or maybe the tip of the beak will be black. So this is probably at least 3 years old. We'll call it an after hatch-year bird, I believe is what the banding office call it. The male, I don't see any evidence that they're breeding right now. We had a female just earlier, and she didn't have a brood patch on her either. So, but you see, he's replacing one tail feather here. He's lost it, so he's replacing it. He's quite a healthy bird.
Is he molting body feathers on the back of the head there?
He,
Almost looks like he's,
I don't know if he is
you know,
or
like
not.
alternate, like pre-alternate molt. It's hard to say.
Well, it could be just a net too. Could be just a net wear on it. The banding office says, if you read the pile here, it says basically when to call them after hatch year. You can't really age them greater than that. With so more study, yeah, AH or after hatch year. They said more study is needed. So, but I'm sure this bird here is at least 3 years old. I mean, it's definitely a good sized bird. He'll grab me here.
Oh, he's biting himself. Oh,
Yeah.
his band.
They'll basically bite the band. Sometimes you release them, they'll go up on the tree and bite the band. But the band is really about like a sock. It goes on their leg. They know it's there for a second, and then they forget about it from then on.
That bird has, it doesn't look as brightly colored. Maybe it's because it's bending forward. I wonder if it's
All right, I'm gonna let him go, y'all. Return to that.
Ready?
He's not
He's not gonna turn loose to the band. Come on. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so talk about, is this a good event for families and things like that?
Oh, yes. The annual Birding and Wildlife Festival is great for any age. We have activities for kids. They can paint bird houses, make bird feeders. They can actually participate in the Animal Olympics. See if they can do the same feats as the animals. Can they do as many push-ups as an animal, a green animal, the lizard? Or can they stand on one leg like the spoonbill while they're sleeping? Other things we can do today are learning about the Florida scrub jay, many of our endangered bird species. We're talking about the red cockaded woodpecker. Today you can also visit our outdoor theater. We're going to have the Birds of Prey, Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park. Volunteers are coming out and you'll be able to see those birds up close and personal. Right now we're having a great time with the snakes and the gopher tortoises.